This is Marty Stewart with SeminarSecrets.com. You can hear the complete version of this big seminar interview by going to www.SeminarSecrets.com.
Okay, well, folks, again, my name's Armand, Morin, and you are on the Big Seminar Preview Series. So first of all, I'd like to welcome you and thank you for taking the time to join us tonight on this preview series. Every series that we've done up to date, and I'm sure this one's going to be like no other, and that is we are going to give you just a tremendous amount of information on this call, a little bit of a sampling from each one of the speakers that we're going to be having at the Big Seminar in Orlando on March 19th, 20th, and 21st. I know many of you on this call have already registered your seat to come. We're filling up this room very, very, very quickly, and we expect to have between 500 and 600 people there that are looking to change their life and their business this year online. We've got some of the greatest marketers in the world, some of the greatest business minds put together in one room for literally 72 hours, 3 full days, where what we're going to do is just jam as much information into your mind that we possibly can, literally cut years of learning off of what you'd have to go through in order to become successful online. You're going to hear from people like, our newest speaker that we're having there is Mark Victor Hansen. Mark Victor Hansen, Chicken Soup for the Soul, sold 80 million copies. Many of you know that Mark's written The 1 Minute Millionaire with Robert Allen recently, last year. Mark's going to be with us. He's going to be sharing a tremendous amount of information. From what I understand, Mark's going to be sharing something brand new that's never been talked about not anywhere, because he's releasing it for the first time, as I understand, at the Big Seminar. So that's going to be really exciting. But we have Yannick Silver that's going to be with us, talking about public domain information. Alex Mondosian is going to be with us. Jimmy D. Brown is going to be with us. Alexandria Brown. Mike Stewart. We've just got Jonathan Mizell, has worked with just numerous people over the years. He's going to be there with us. We have Jim Edwards, who we're talking with tonight. Just a tremendous group of people. Bruce Safran, David Garfinkel, Michael Fortin, one of the greatest copywriters, not only on the Internet, but in the world today, is going to be with us, sharing with you how to write tremendous copy online. And, folks, the information that's shared there has literally changed lives. I received 3 emails today alone. This is no lie. One email happened to be from someone that didn't create her own product, didn't create her own business, but what she did since the last big seminar that she went to, which was just back in August, she joined an affiliate program about 2 weeks later after leaving the seminar, and in the first 30 days working that affiliate program, she was the #1 affiliate for that program. Now, this is a person going from 0 to being the #1 affiliate for an affiliate program, which is really, really impressive, and I love to hear stories like that. I received another email today from another person who was at the big seminar, and she hit her, I'm not sure if it's her first, but she told me that this month she did over 5 figures online. Another person there I received another email from, also, this was her first month, 5 figures online, and she denotes it to the big seminar. And that's impressive because, you see, the last big seminar we held was 6 months ago, and the one before that was 6 months prior to that. And the first big seminar we held back in January, we sold out. We had 168 people there. The second big seminar, we had 304 people at that seminar. And again, we sold out that seminar with our facility there. And this one's going to be the same. We're going to sell out this facility as well, too. A couple reasons why we're telling you about it ahead of time. Obviously, we've been doing these calls since the beginning of January, but the reasons why we're telling you about this now is simply this: planning. We know that for several things, you need to plan to come to an event like this. You need to plan your airlines. Many of you are going to be traveling there. We chose Orlando, Florida, because it literally is the cheapest place and the easiest place to fly in anywhere in the United States. Also is just your hotel reservations, and that's one thing I want to tell everyone about right now. If you're planning to attend, if you're thinking about attending to the seminar, I suggest you do it immediately. I just found out recently that there's another group of over 1,000 people going to be at the same hotel, and hotel rooms are, even though we have a block set aside for us, hotel rooms are filling up quickly, and it's best when you go to a seminar, especially if this is your first time, you want to stay in the same hotel as the seminar is going on. It makes it just that much easier. Trust me, I've been to plenty of seminars, and it's always a lot easier to stay in the same hotel, so it's going to make a big advantage for you, especially when it comes to networking. And the networking that we have at our seminar is not only there, it's organized. We actually have several sessions set aside specifically for you to network with, not only with the speakers, not only with each other, but just everybody there. Get to know everyone, make joint ventures. I call it a $1 million Rolodex party, where you can instantly walk in the door and create a $1 million Rolodex of contacts of people that are willing to joint venture with you, that maybe have products or services that you need, anything. Everything goes during this networking, and you're going to have the opportunity several times throughout this weekend. So it's going to be just a great event. We're really excited about it. And again, to find out more, click on the email that you were sent at the to receive the information on this call, and that will take you right to the seminar site. And again, we're going to talk more about that later. But before we get into talking with Jim, I'm going to tell you this: I want to make you famous at the big seminar. I'm going to tell you more about that later on in this call, and you'll understand exactly what that means. But now what I want to do is I want to talk with Jim Edwards, and many of you probably have heard of Jim. He's done many projects online. 7-Day ebook is one of them. 30 Days to Online Profits with Yannick Silver is another one. Jim has done a tremendous amount of products. He's become very successful online. But one of the things that Jim has delved into online that is just making a huge, huge stir, which, I just enjoy reading and seeing every day, every time I get it, I should say, and that is I Gotta Tell You newsletter, which is full of multimedia type information. And what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk with Jim about that. So, Jim, the first thing I'd like to do is welcome you to the call tonight.
Thanks, Armand. Do you want to have a little fun right off the bat?
Yeah, let's start off with some fun. Fun's always good.
All right. Here's a nice little intro for you. I guarantee you didn't hear from anybody else you've ever had on one of these calls. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready to learn how to use audio and video to make yourself and your website stand out from the crowd? Okay.
Pretty slick.
I feel better.
But Jim, I know that's the way you start off your newsletter.
Sure, yeah, and I guarantee you that the majority of the people that are listening are going, what in the world is he doing? But the thing is, I want you to notice that you are totally tuned in to everything that we're talking about right now.
Yeah, you immediately, it was a quick, fast, and certainly an effective way to grab everyone's attention right off the bat.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely. And that's one of the biggest reasons why multimedia is such an impressive and such a powerful means of not just creating products, but of actually marketing yourself.
Now, Jim, let's talk about this, because I think it's always important for people to understand kind of where the person has come from as far as that we're talking to on these calls. So what we want to know is what was life like prior to the Internet? What did you do prior to getting involved in on the Internet and doing business on the Internet?
Basically, before I got on the Internet, back in the dark ages of 1997, I either quit or got fired from like 10 different jobs. I delivered pizzas. I was a Kelly girl. I didn't wear a skirt. I sold insurance. I sold weight loss. I sold furniture. And then I finally settled down in the mortgage business and did really well in the mortgage business until I got kind of burnt out. And then when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, I got into real estate. I became a real estate agent. And that was really when I discovered the Internet. And so that's what I was doing before the Internet. And I got online in 1997 with a dial-up account, and that's what I did. So I never could find my niche until I got into the mortgage business. But then the big thing there was I just couldn't see myself doing that for the rest of my life.
No, so the thing is that you didn't have a technical background
No.
as far as what most people would think a person making a person making money.
I actually got kicked out of the business school in college. The dean of the business school told me I had no business acumen whatsoever, so I ended up majoring in history and minoring in Chinese comparative literature.
Chinese comparative literature?
Yeah, Chinese comparative lit.
Okay.
Yeah. And if I had not been hanging out at the fraternity house, I would have, actually, if I'd have gone down and filled out the paperwork, I could have had another minor in South American archaeology.
So a lot of useful information then.
Yeah. I passed tests, and I turned in papers so that I wouldn't get thrown out of school so I could keep. My biggest accomplishment in college was graduating, albeit one semester late, and being the social chairman of my fraternity for 3 straight years.
Well, that is important to be. It's one of the basic needs on Maslow's theories of hierarchy.
Exactly.
Is to be loved. Is to be loved, and I'm sure everyone in your fraternity loved you. Well, one of the things, what we also want to talk about is that, when you got online, I mean, what type of products did you initially start to do? I mean, did you jump online, as an affiliate? I mean, did you start marketing products?
No, the way that I got online was with a product that I had already created and then sat on for 5 years. I wrote a book on how to sell your house yourself in 1992. And sat on it basically for 5 years. And then I was back at the fraternity house at homecoming, and I ran into a fraternity brother, and it turned out that he and his father had bought a web server. And we were just talking, and he said, wow, you ought to take that thing and stick it up on the Internet. And so I put it up there on the Internet, and it was just, the website was just disgusting, man. I made it in Microsoft Publisher, and it turned it into one big picture, and it was just, it took forever to load, and it sucked, but I still sold it. That was the freaky thing. I mean, I just started making money, and I just figuring stuff out and helter-skelter here and there. I ended up getting it up to making between $750 and $1,000 a month, and then I just, it was working. So obviously, I didn't want to do anything else with it.
Sure.
So I didn't do anything else with it. So that's where it stayed for a couple of years, whereas a sane person would say, God, I set up this income stream, $750, $1,000 a month. I wonder if I could do it again.
Right.
But I wasn't that quick. So, that's where it stayed until I ended up bumping it up to the next level. And quite frankly, the place that I learned to bump it up to the next level was at a seminar. When I went to Jonathan Meisel's Boulder Summit.
Right.
And I was just rubbing elbows with people that were doing it, and the biggest thing for me was going to that thing and seeing all these people, and quite frankly, and I'm not naming any names, of course, but I mean, I saw people that were making $1 million a year.
Sure.
And I mean, these guys, I was like, dude, if that guy can make money, there is no reason why I can't be making more money. And then I acted on one thing I learned from Marlon Sanders and went home and changed the sales letter. Actually, I didn't even have a sales letter. That was making money. And I converted that all over to a one-page sales letter, and overnight sales went up by almost 400%.
400% just by actually putting in a proper sales letter.
Yeah, and it wasn't even really that good, but it was better than what I had. And I was freaking out, man. So then what I did was I took another product that I had developed and called the 10 Dirty Little Secrets of Mortgage Financing, and I took that and I stuck that up on the web and started making money with that. And as soon as that started happening, the light bulb came off, or came on. It had been off. And the light bulb came on, and I just, never really looked back. Now, I mean, that wasn't what actually was the one that propelled me into the quote-unquote limelight, but it certainly gave me the confidence, or it started giving me the confidence that I could make this happen.
So now let me ask you.
It wasn't, the upshot of what I'm trying to say is that for me it wasn't like an overnight thing. It was a very gradual, over time thing. And so I figure in another 6 months I might be an overnight success.
Right, and it took you since 97 to be that overnight success. 7 years to become an overnight success.
Yeah, I'm almost there.
Now, one of the questions I have for you is this: is on those initial products, and this is just out of curiosity more than anything else. Are you still selling those products online?
Yeah, every day. Today, as a matter of fact, every day.
So the same.
Yeah, all I do to update those products, because I created them, they're very evergreen.
Right.
Meaning that they're all based on principles, and very little do they have to do with anything that can change over time. I just last week updated both of those products for 2004, and what I did was I went in and changed the copyright from 1996 to -2003. I changed the 2003 to 2004.
So you did a lot of updating.
Yeah, I did a lot of updating.
So you still sell those products?
They sell every day, Armand, and that is no lie. They sell every single day. It is so beautiful.
I think that's really important for people to understand, because some people, I had a conversation with someone that really should have known better than to ask me this question, because it's someone that actually is doing okay on the internet, and they have several products out, but they made a statement that I wanted to jump through the phone and slap them at. They said, "Well, when you make when you make a product, it seems like the statement that they made was this: is that when you make a product that it has a shelf life of only just a few short months during the initial launch of it." And I'm like, "What are you, nuts?" I'm thinking, because I know, just like you, you still sell the initial products that you created. I sell my initial products that I created still to this day, and in fact, one of my initial products is one of my biggest sellers.
Right. Well, the only thing that I would say, and not to disagree with you on that, but there are times when there's the opportunity to create a product to meet an immediate pressing need.
Sure.
But the thing is, and this kind of segues into multimedia, is that before, in order to create a product, the vast majority of people would have to sit down and do what? Create an ebook.
Right.
And that takes a while. Even if you have the 7-day ebook, that's 7 pretty intense days. But with multimedia, you can create one heck of a product in a day. And that's a whole different story. If you can create the product in a day and you can knock out a sales letter in a couple of days, you got 72 hours invested in creating a product. If you could make a healthy profit for 4 or 5 months and then use that as a front end for a long-term product, then yeah, you'd want to do it. But the way that most people would do it now, I agree with you 100%. It's not worth doing.
Now, one of the first products that I've seen that you did online as far as multimedia was concerned was when you and Yannick remade, or I should say proper word would be reinvented, the 30 Days to Online Profits.
Yeah, that's the one that really came out in the limelight. But, I've been doing multimedia for years, because remember I told you that second product that I put up on the Internet was the 10 Dirty Little Secrets of Mortgage Financing, which actually was a 50-some page workbook and a 90-minute cassette tape. And what I did was I went down to Radio Shack and bought a $4 cord, stuck my Walkman in one end, stuck the other end in the mic slot on my laptop, and converted the tape to an MP3, converted the printed workbook to a PDF, started charging $10 more than I had been charging in physical form, and converted that over to a multimedia download product. And I never really thought about it as being that unusual or that unique. But because I figured everybody was doing it.
Well, that's, what you did on that is kind of surprising, because of the fact that most people think that the offline product should be more money than the online product, than the digital format.
That was the biggest thing, that it was such a specialized product that I was having a hard time selling it offline. But online, where people were actively doing.
You have just listened to a portion of this Big Seminar interview. To get the complete version, simply go to www.seminarsecrets.com. Find out how you can attend the next Internet Marketing Big Seminar. And for a very special offer you can't refuse, visit www.seminarsecrets.com.